Hello, I was wondering if I should write. I have the following question. Is it normal to not have a desire for my husband for intimacy? We had problems. Yes, we fought. He insulted me a lot with insults like, well, I had decided to end everything. I told him that I wanted to break up. We have a 3-year-old child. He refused, said that he would not leave, that he would fix himself. He is really trying. I see he is giving his all already. But at this moment, I feel cold towards him. I have a desire for intimacy, but not with him. I dream that I am cheating. It weighs on me a lot. I do not want to cheat on him, but I do not feel any pleasure with him for almost a month now. Is it possible that it is a period? Thank you so much for sharing this. It takes a lot of courage, and it's a really important question. So let's talk about it.
Okay, so right off the bat, the very first thing I want you to hear, and I mean really hear, is that what you're feeling, it's not strange, it's not wrong, it is a completely 100% normal human reaction to being hurt.
Let's just pause on that for a second, because when we're in a lot of pain, it is so easy to start pointing the finger at ourselves, right? To think, what's wrong with me? But your feelings aren't the problem here. They're actually a signal about the problem. So let me say it again. You're not strange and you're not bad. You're just hurt.
So the big question is, why? Why does desire just seem to evaporate when we've been hurt so deeply? Well, to get to the bottom of that, we really have to look at what intimacy is built on in the first place.
You know, for a lot of people, maybe most of us, sexuality isn't just physical. It's tied so deeply to how we feel emotionally. I like to think of these 3 things, respect, security, and emotional safety, as the legs of a stool. And if you kick one of those legs out, especially respect or safety, well, the whole thing just gets wobbly and can totally collapse.
Think about what happens when you're deeply insulted, when you feel totally devalued. Your mind, your psyche, it does something pretty amazing to protect you. It goes into this sort of emotional lockdown. It's a defense mechanism, plain and simple. It's like a part of you just says, nope, this isn't safe, I'm not opening up here. And that door to intimacy, it's slammed shut. Not to be cruel, but to stop you from getting hurt even more.
So you can see how this chain reaction gets going. It all starts with that deep hurt, that humiliation. And what does that do? It shatters trust. And when trust is gone, your brain's defense systems go on high alert. The end result? That intimate part of you just gets walled off from the person who caused the pain. It's a totally logical, even smart, protective sequence.
And this brings us to a really important point. The fact that you still feel desire, just not for your partner, that's a massive clue. It tells us this isn't a you problem, it's not a biological issue, your libido isn't broken. This is a relational issue. The desire is there, it's alive and well, but it just can't, plug into a connection that feels unsafe or disrespectful.
Okay, let's tackle those dreams about cheating. I know that can be super confusing and probably feels awful, but what if we looked at them in a different way? Not as literal wishes, but more like symbolic messages that your subconscious is sending you.
These dreams could be your mind's way of expressing a need that's not being met. Maybe it's a need to feel vital and alive again, or a need to escape the pain you're in. And a big one, a need to feel wanted, to have your self-worth restored. So it's not really about another person. It's about a part of you that's just trying to find some life, some light, some sense that you matter.
Which brings us all the way back to your original question. Is this just a period? And you know what? The answer is, it absolutely can be. But it's not the kind of period that just passes on its own. Like winter turning into spring. It's a period that needs the right conditions to actually heal.
And the number one condition is patience. 1 month. Honestly, that's no time at all when we're talking about healing from this kind of wound. The insults, that break in trust, those are deep cuts. They don't just scab over in a few weeks. You've got to be patient with yourself here. That's so important.
And that leads to this. You just can't force desire. You can't. Telling yourself you should feel it is only going to make things worse, add more pressure. Desire comes back on its own time. It returns when the pain has actually been worked through, when you see real, lasting change, not just a temporary fix, and when, and this is the big one, you feel truly seen and valued and respected again. That's the only path back.
And that word, respect, that really is what it all boils down to, isn't it? And this is where the focus has to turn inward. It's time to get quiet and look for your own truth in all of this. This is just such a key idea. A relationship can have so much history, right? And you might still have feelings of love there, but if the respect is gone, if it's been truly shattered, the connection itself might be broken beyond repair.
So here's a question I want you to ask yourself just for you. Get quiet and be really honest. When you look at your partner right now, pushing past all the history, the fact that you have a child, even their recent efforts to change, what's the real gut feeling that comes up for you?
And your answer, it's probably going to fall into one of two places. And there's a huge difference between saying, they hurt me, but I think we can fix this, and feeling, something deep inside me is just broken. A wound can be healed. A shatter, that's different. And only you can know which one feels more true.
And one last thing to think about, and it's a big one. Go back to that moment when you decided to stay. Did you stay because a real part of you wanted to try again? Or did you stay because they refused to leave and you just kind of gave in to that pressure? How much of that decision was truly yours? That really, really matters.
Listen, please don't feel like you need to have this all figured out right now. And please don't blame yourself for feeling confused. You are right in the middle of a really tough, messy emotional process. You've got the wound, the shared history, your child. This is not something that gets sorted out in a month. So the best thing you can do for yourself right now? Just give yourself some grace. Really listen to what your feelings are telling you, without judging them, and try to honor whatever that truth is.